Well. We've walked away with 3 points. West Ham 1, Fulham 0. Welcome back to West Ham Irons United for our Highlights in Words show. I am Anton. I'm joined by Matt and Stell. You've probably just been watching the match day live with ourselves. We've been on the stream for a good solid 3.5 hours. But listen, before we continue, let's discuss One Football.
One Football have teamed up with West Ham Irons United and sponsoring our channel for the Matchday Live videos, our Highlights and Words videos, and our West Ham Weekly videos. One Football is a fantastic app that you download onto your device. You click the link in our description below. It takes you to the Android shop or the Apple shop, and it's completely free to download. It jumps onto your device and you get as much information as you possibly can related to football, whether that's West Ham or other football teams. You get latest news, you get breaking news, you get team lineups. One thing I love about it though is you do get the live scores for the games on that day, the day you're looking for them, and it gives you notifications. If you want the notifications, it goes into the app and it gives you a wide variety of live scores. On top of that, it gives you stats and it gives you facts on the clubs that you love. What a fantastic app, and it is completely free. There is a link in our description below. Please go and click on that link and download it from that link, which will help our channel out, and it will bring you a fountain of knowledge of the football world with a fantastic app that is called One Football.
Well, we've walked away with 3 points.
Before we go on, we like people to give a bit of feedback on that. You like the fact that we're getting the sponsorship. You know, it's not a lot of money. Trust me, it's not a lot of money, but it pays for like putting on the channel on this platform. I think we've got to tell people that. But if you don't like it, just tell us that you don't. If you do like it, say well done, lads, and you do like it. I'd like to hear what you think about it. Is that all right?
Yep. 3 points. West Ham moved up to 11th place. Matt, lucky?
I don't know about lucky. It was a look. We said it on the preview, and I said it even today before the game started, that there was a chance that with two counter-attacking teams, we were going to cancel each other out. And that's basically what we saw. You know, we come out flying out the block, didn't we? And then Fulham came back into it, and then for a neutral, it was an entertaining first half, and it was a very slow, sluggish second half.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I mean, listen, let's have a look at at some of the stuff about the game. I mean, starting lineup still, no changes as we expected. And from West Ham, we lined up exactly the same as we did against Liverpool. Well, first and foremost, were you disappointed at that?
I wasn't disappointed. I was not surprised. We knew it. We knew. We've been saying it before the game. We said it in the preview. Moyes always reverts to type, and it would have taken an injury for him to have a change of heart on the starting line. Well, change of heart. He would have been forced to have changed it, and the fact that we had no injury meant that you knew he was going to play the same starting 11. Now, you could argue, you know, that starting 11, apart from Antonio Faller, has done really well. So why would they? Why would Moyes have wanted to change it? But I think as the game wore on, you kind of thought you need a change. If you don't change the team, you need a change of formation, a change of tactics, which he could have done with the same 11. So I'm not surprised that it was the same team.
Yeah, no. Absolutely. And just before we move on, people are just saying, listen, they're happy with the sponsorship, etc. So thank you very much for the feedback. And one of the comments that straight away came in, and something I do definitely want to discuss, is the Fulham keeper, because in the first half, guys, he literally kept them in that game completely. What's his name? Areola. From PSG. From PSG. That's the wrong one. Let's see if we can find an image of the keeper. I'm just trying to get him. Matt, how do you describe his performance?
Oh, I think Long Dark sums it up. He was their man of the match.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
You just sort of forget that first 5 minutes. He pulled off a couple of blinds, didn't he? I mean, Haller hit the crossbar. Then there was that shot from Bowen from the edge of the box. that deflected, didn't it? And he still managed to tip it over the crossbar. He's very commanding in the air. When Fulham went down last year, 2 years ago, when they went down, they had a couple of goalkeepers. They never got settled, and they were both awful. They were both making mistakes left, right, and centre. Whereas it seems this time they've now found a solid goalkeeper to compete with. Which is coincidentally, I mean, the first couple of games they didn't start him. They actually had him on the bench the first couple of games, and they shipped loads of goals.
Yeah.
And then, in accordance with them changing the defenders, because that back four that's all new players. That back four didn't even play last year.
Yeah.
So they've basically brought in a new back four and a goalkeeper, and you could see they were, for the most part, very solid at the back. And when they did need to be bailed out, the keeper played really well. For me, he probably was their man of the match. He was fantastic in goal.
But let's be brutally honest, though, Stel. I mean, the first 5 minutes, West Ham could... I mean, I'm not even exaggerating here. We could have been up 3 or 4 goals in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think Areola, I agree. He looks like a really good keeper, and he kept them in the game. But you're right, we could have been. I think we played really well. We did all right in the first half. I don't actually have an issue with the first half. I think we played kind of decent. But as the first half wore on, and we weren't getting the breakthrough, it was beginning to give them more confidence, and you could just start to feel that the game was moving their way. Yeah, we should have been. We hit the bar twice? I think.
Yeah.
Creswell hit the bar.
Creswell,
I think 3 times. I think Creswell hit the bar twice. Did he not? And Haller with a header in the first.
So we did all right in the first half, and I could see already in some of the comments that Haller is not the solution to Antonio. I thought Haller, when we were including him in the game, looked all right.
Well, talk to me about that then, Still. Talk to me about that. What did you see when it comes to Haller in the first, say, 15, 20 minutes in comparison to the rest of the game? and describe, like, within reason, why you think he was in and then not in.
Okay, well, I think it's pretty simple, because the first 10, 15 minutes, we were trying to go for it. We were trying to be on the front foot, which means that you're getting players a lot closer to your front man. I mean, it's like I'm repeating myself. It's like a KTEL record where you keep repeating yourself on, if anyone understands what a KTEL record was, they were the shittiest pieces of vinyl you could buy, and they always got stuck in the same groove. So you'd hear the thing over and over and over again. And we've all been saying it. If Haller has got support, he plays well. When Haller doesn't have support, he's out of the game. And I do not for a minute blame Haller for his performance, because the first 10, 15 minutes of the game, he was involved because we were on the front foot. And then as the first half was wearing on, Fulham were getting more comfortable. Fulham were getting more confident, which meant that they started to attack. And the minute they started to attack, you know what Moyes is going to say to the team. If they attack, you drop defensively. You go into a 5-4-1 formation, which is what we did, which I think was the disappointment, that we didn't manage to sort of like keep Haller involved, because we started to defend more rather than attack.
Yeah.
It's that simple. It's that simple. So when we're defending against a team like Fulham, it's like what people have said. You understand it when you're playing against Liverpool. You understand it when you're playing against City. You should be taking the game to Fulham. But we weren't taking it to... We did the first 10, 15 minutes and thought, well, that's enough then. We'll let them have a go. And then all of a sudden, Haller is not involved. It's that simple. It's that simple.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt, I mean, first half could go. How did you rate our first half? I mean, was it opportunity missed?
Yeah, well, it's like we had the first 15 minutes, then they came back for about a 10-15 minute spell, and then we got on top again. But like you said, we could have had 3 or 4 goals in the first 5 minutes. And it's almost like, as we came into the game, the fact that we didn't take them chances gave Fulham more confidence.
Yeah.
And then we gave them too much respect. It went back into that defensive formation play against Liverpool, Man City, where Bowen and Fornals dropped deeper and invited them on. It invited Fulham on, and we had to get back into the game again. But like we said on the preview, 3-4-3 can be attacking if you actually push forward.
Yeah.
We didn't push forward, and it became a case of that when we did get the ball, it was very slow, and you were looking for that person to unlock a defence. And obviously, Rice and Souček aren't going to do that because it's just not what they do. And you're looking to the wingers, but they would. Bowen and Fornals were almost giving too much respect to Fulham's fullbacks. Back when we had, like, say, a Dimitri Payet, he never tracked back. And he would say, you know what, I don't think you're good enough to do anything going forward. And when you lose the ball, I'm going to make opportunities with the space. And it's almost like we needed one of them two to just gamble and go, not every attack, because you need to pick your opportunities, but one of them needed to pick an opportunity to stay forward and give you an option on the counter, but we didn't. Every time their fullbacks went forward, they both tracked back. And, it was like watching Antonio in some of the pre-lockdown last year. When we played like Man City away and Moyes put 9 men behind the ball and Antonio had no one around him.
Yeah.
And don't forget, Antonio had that in games last year. Before we got the formation and the tactics clicked, there's no difference between Antonio doing it and Haller doing it.
Yeah.
Haller can't affect the game. He can bring the ball down, but if it's only 50 yards of him, there's nothing he can do with it. He's not Lionel Messi. He's not going to bring it down, dribble past 4 players and stick it in the top corner.
Yeah, of course.
And it was like, we just regressed.
Well, we did, you could see that still in the first half in particular. I would say West Ham had dominant possession. We held the ball. We were pushing Fulham's defences. West Ham's total stats for the game were 16 shots. I wouldn't be surprised if most of them came in the first half.
Yeah.
And, we were pressing them. We were putting them under pressure. But what you started to see about the 30th minute was Fulham starting to fight back. And then quite quickly, it's as if Scott Parker saw what West Ham were doing and countered it by saying, keep possession of the ball in the back line, try and wait for a gap to open up and put the pressure on. Now, fair play to West Ham. We defended any potential threat that Fulham had, but they gained possession of the ball still.
Yeah, no, exactly. They were growing confident throughout the game. They had more possession than I wouldn't be surprised if we saw possession pretty much equal in the first half. If not, maybe they just shaded it. But that's because they, as I said a moment ago, they were becoming more and more confident as the game wore on. And I think going in at half time pretty much equal on stats, possession, etc., was about fair. But we shouldn't be in that position against a team like, with the greatest of respect to Fulham, who could find themselves in a relegation battle this season. That shouldn't have been the case. We should have bossed possession. We should have bossed the play. We should have been going into the at the end of the first half, going, we were unlucky not to be up, rather than it kind of was an equal game. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. But we did. I'm trying to find the old. Where's the mouse going? Trying to get you off still. Trying to get your ugly mug off that camera. But what we did see was West Ham went into the halftime 0-0. And I think we were on the reviews, the halftime report, and me, you, there was about 1 million of us in there having a chat, discussing should we make changes, what minute would we make the changes in the half, and we were kind of forced into a substitution. We saw Ben Rama starting to warm up on the sidelines, but then unfortunately,
how long did it take for him to come on?
Well, I think initially he was coming on. Before that, what we did see was a challenge. In the 18-yard box, Augie stepped up. Him and Mitrovic and Fabianski all had a bit of a clash. They went head to head. They square-goaled each other, and Augie found it straight after it. He then went on a karate kick tackle against Kearney, got himself a yellow card. And to be fair, if he hadn't got injured, I think Moyes may have pulled him off, because the game was starting to sway that way. So, but unfortunately, what we did see was Augie pulled up what looks like a groin strain. He's obviously now going to be missing, and Diop came onto the park. And then I think about another 5-10 minutes went by before we saw Ben Rama. First and foremost, how did you rate Diop when he came on the park? Matt?
He didn't. You know what? In fairness to him, I didn't notice any difference.
Mm.
In fairness to him, I mean, he hasn't played in a while. Let's give him credit for that. He hasn't, has he?
No.
You know, he. How many games has he been out now? How many games since? Was it Balbuena
Diop.
came in for the Wolves game? Was it the Wolves game or the Leicester game?
Yeah,
Balbuena came in.
I think Diop's played 2 games so far this season. So I think
Did
this
he
was
play the
his
first
third
2?
appearance.
The
Yeah.
Arsenal game, and he has been out since the Arsenal game.
Yeah, and then from that point on, we did
It's
really
been
well in
Balbuena.
defence.
With the back three, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, Diop just stepped in. He looked
And
no
to be
different.
fair, to be fair, what we did say was, still, you were saying, and I get it, and it's always going to be a miss when you're losing your in form centre half. But this is, you know, we don't want anyone injured, but this is the opportunity that, you know, any player who sits on the bench is looking for, and now it's over to Diop to step into that position.
Ironically, this formation might suit Diop more than a back 4. So it's what Matt said. You kind of didn't really notice any difference when Diop came on.
Yeah.
And in a way, that's what you want to happen.
Yeah, I didn't mean as a negative. I meant it as a positive.
Absolutely. For your defence, it's different for your attacking players when you swap them round. But for your defenders, you want more of the same.
Yeah.
So Diop, Ogbonna. I mean, the consolation is that we've got the international break now, so we don't know how bad Ogbonna might be. He didn't look like he was in any pain or anything, but it could be that he might be all right when the international break is.
Exactly, I was about to say we've got the international break, so he's got 2 weeks anyway.
Exactly.
So if you're going to get a little knock or a little strain,
this is
now's the time to do it because he's got 2 weeks.
Absolutely. So it might not be too bad, but you're right, Matt. You know, the sign of a good player is when they slot in, when they come on as a sub, as a defender, and you don't notice any negative impact.
Like you said,
when
the
it
back
comes
three
to attack, it's
him.
different. Yeah,
because he's the ball playing centre back, isn't he? That was why we brought him in. That's why Pellegrini brought him.
Yeah, exactly.
And when he's got Balbuena and Creswell either side of him, he can play as the ball playing centre back because he's got cover either side.
Yeah.
Now, if Balbuena doesn't if Ogbonna doesn't make the next game, obviously Diop's going to start, and then it's up to Diop to try and keep the spot, and then Ogbonna will have to make his way back in.
Yeah. So
but don't worry, we've got Craig Dawson. It's fine.
Yeah, but you know what? With respect, I'm sorry, but it's only going to take for West Ham to get one injury in the centre half pairing, which is what's happening.
And he'll play.
And he'll be in.
And we're going to have to rely on Dawson to come in. It's not a bad backup. It's not a bad option as a backup. How are you going to...
It's funny, when we signed him, I suggested he was probably no better than Balbuena. But Balbuena has shown us what a good player he is. What a good player he is.
There's the difference between having a centre half who... sorry, have you just noticed your name there still?
No, mate, nothing at all.
It shows you though that when we've got two centre half pairings, we need someone who is calm and collective. Anton, have you got a link for the food bank donation? I will. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'll try and do it when I'm talking.
Ironsfoodbanks.co.uk.
2 seconds.
There it is. There.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, there it is, mate.
So, obviously tonight has been a big deal for anyone who's not paid for the pay-per-view, and if you can donate anything, it doesn't have to be the 15 quid. If you can donate £1, £2, £5, anything helps, and I think they've dramatically gone up through the roof for the past day or so yeah, keep it up. Really cool. Well done, guys. Anyway, the point I was trying to make there was, let me get this back up again. Who were we talking about there? Yeah, the defense, and having someone like Balbuena, you need a calm and a collected centre half in beside the one that steps out of position, and that's maybe why Ogbonna and Balbuena have had a nicer relationship than what Ogbonna and Diop previously had, because they were too similar. So we're starting to see hopefully the best of Balbuena. But moving into the game itself. The game was getting on. It was getting on tender hooks a few times. Again, West Ham moved forward and tried to attack, and we got opportunities. We had a few opportunities. I think Creswell had a free kick. Did that hit the bar? Did that one, the whipped in?
Yeah, he did hit the bar, didn't he? Just outside the box.
Yeah, just outside the box, hit the bar. But then let's just go straight into it. We went into the... oh, God, what is he doing? I'm trying to keep up with you still. We went into the 90th minute. Ben
Mate,
Rama's
where have our names gone?
Don't worry about it, mate.
I
Don't worry
wouldn't
about
worry
it.
about. I wouldn't worry about it, mate. I've sorted it out.
I know you have. That's what I'm worried about. Yeah,
What
go on.
we're, West Ham, Ben Rama's come on the park. Listen, before we even talk about the goal, how do we rate Ben Rama's performance? 20 minutes.
He looked lively.
Yeah, I think he still said earlier, we were talking about Diop coming on, and I said he just fitted right in, you didn't notice. You noticed when Benrahma come on. Forget the assist. There was that chance, wasn't it? He took on a couple of players and he shot and the keeper made a good save.
Yeah.
He made an impact coming off the bench. He was looking to go forward. He was looking to make a pass. He was looking to drive at defenders. So he made a positive impact coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Which, what we needed. A bit of creativity, a bit of intelligence, a bit of something different. And you can only build on it, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, see if we actually spent time concentrating in the game, we'd probably give people a really good show. But me and Stella are playing a game about naming each other's names here.
I'll let you guys crack on with that. I'm fine.
I know exactly, Matt. Honestly, mate, you just need to ignore. Stella's just a child. A child.
But look, I mean, the second half in general, it wasn't a good half of football, which is why we're not just skipping it for the sake of it.
Yeah.
There was a couple of chances with like a double save from Fabianski. They went 2-on-2, didn't they?
Yeah.
Just before, like a little while before we scored. But apart from that, Creswell hit the bar. They had that double chance, and apart from that, it wasn't really. We cancelled each other out in the second half, didn't we? The two sort of counter-attacking formations. I mean, to be fair to Moyes, he actually did go for it because with 20 minutes to go, I mean, he made like-for-like subs, but he did make all three subs by the 70th minute. So
he was forced to make subs.
Well, no, he was forced to make the Ogbonna sub, wasn't he? But he was going to make the double sub when Ogbonna came off, and that sort of pushed it. He left it
fair play.
And then he gave it about 5 minutes for Diop to settle in before then he made the attacking sub.
This is like
because it's conservative Moyes,
so
I understand what he's done. Because once you make that defensive change, don't forget, like we said, he settled in, but you don't know. He doesn't want to make the back change at the back and then make the two subs. Because look, we're West Ham. How many times do we get players injured? So if he makes a sub in the 60th minute because the defender's injured, and at the same time he brings two attackers on and makes a triple sub, full well 5 minutes later someone's going to go down injured. He gave it 10 minutes and went, you know what? I'm going to make the double sub. I honestly expected him to put one of them back down on the bench. I didn't think he'd make the double sub.
I must admit, I agree with you. I thought he was going to take. I actually didn't think that Lanzini would make it on at all. Yeah.
No, the way the camera was panning around some of the game, it looked like Lanzini had sat back down, which in some ways I was annoyed with, but in some ways I thought, you know what, fair enough. The way Moyes is, he will leave one sub till like the 90th minute just in case someone gets injured. But he put Lanzini on, he put Benrahma on, he took off Fornals and Bowen, who had been stifled by Scott Parker's tactics. I don't want to say they had a bad game. I think the way Parker set up, he looked at the way we play and went, you know what, West Ham play with width. Don't worry about the middle because Rice and Souček aren't going to put attacking passes in. They're not going to damage our defence. They can have the ball.
But there's the irony. Who scored the goal?
Yeah, but that wasn't. It didn't come from Souček, did it? It came from Benrahma picking up the ball deep, switching the play.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about it though. So the ball gets played in right. I can't remember who played the ball into Benrahma into the box. Benrahma gets.
It was. I think Benrahma starts this really deep, doesn't he? He played a big 60, 70 yard switching pass.
Yeah.
It was like a really long 1-2 to Soufal.
Yeah.
Soufal crossed it in. It got deflected.
Yeah. 91st minute, the ball's landed on Benrahma's feet. He's got the
first time.
Yeah, he's got the opportunity now to maybe attack, but fair play to him. He's squared the ball across to Souček, and the man himself has stepped up again with another goal and another important goal.
Tommy Souček, mate.
I'll tell you what, they're going to be big teams going after him.
Yeah.
At the end of the season, big teams are going to look at him, and they're going to forget about trying to buy Rice, and they're going to be looking at Souček and going, I bet we can get him for like 20 grand, 20 mil.
20 grand?
20 grand, 20 mil.
No, I reckon he's doubled his value. I reckon it's easy 30, 35 mil.
I agree, but I bet you clubs will be thinking, we'll try and get him on the cheap.
Yeah. Listen, the thing is though with Tommy Soucek, I mean he's everything we've been crying out for the last few years. He offers us a threat going forward. He offers us support in the back line. He actually kind of finalizes that midfield, central midfield area. You feel a lot more secure. And I can't, listen, guys, we've come away with another clean sheet tonight.
Well, mate, who was it? Moyes that said? Was it Moyes that said after the Tottenham game? No, sorry, it was Mourinho, wasn't it? They said Moyes has found his new Fellaini.
Yeah. Well, he's better than Fellaini.
He's better than Fellaini.
He is,
a lot better.
But I know what Mourinho was saying. Don't forget forget the Fellaini at Man United. Go back to the Fellaini that was at Everton. And that is what Soucek is now. He's a guy that got up and down the pitch.
Yeah.
He was physical. He broke up the play, and you got the aerial threat going the other way. Except today, it wasn't an aerial threat, was it? It was a side foot first time after a brilliant first touch pass from Benrahma. But even then, it wasn't over, was it? Because we're West Ham and we love dramatics.
Well, listen,
it's never easy to be in West Ham, is it?
Listen,
an assist for Benrahma.
Yeah, assist for Benrahma. But listen, we've gone 1-0 up. We're sitting in the match day live. We're sitting there going 3 points. We're lucky. And for a second week in a row, we give away a penalty, a silly penalty, because in theory, Benrahma clipped the player. He did clip the player, and the letter of the law.
It was a more obvious penalty than it was.
About to say,
yeah.
In fairness, I was still raging at it, but Kearney. The thing is, Kearney played for the penalty, right? I think
played for it.
Yeah. But he done the Vardy. He made sure he knew where Benrahma was going to put his foot, and he initiated the contact. But the contact was there, and he went down as he would have with the contact.
Yeah.
He didn't get the contact and then throw himself backwards. It was a silly.
Not that we're
tackle.
talking about Salah being a cheat, but Salah did cheat last week.
Yeah.
Whereas Kearney wasn't cheat. Yeah, it was a foul. Yeah.
It's one of the ones, 10, 15 years ago, the ref would have just gone, no, play on.
It's really interesting because I was, ironically, out of nowhere, I was watching an old 1974 big match program on ITV4 or something this morning. And they showed Stoke versus West Ham when it finished 1-1, when Jeff Hurst scored a goal against us when he moved to Stoke. And the tackles that were flying in there.
Oh, mate.
And the ref was going, what's wrong with you? Play on. Play on. And people were going through other players like now,
like
the slightest of touches.
The thing is, last week,
players go down.
Last week they said it was soft, and it was like, and I think we had Russ on last week, and he was like, "Oh, by the letter of the law, that's a penalty." For me,
by the letter of the law, yeah.
For me, he's still right. It wasn't a penalty, but today, by the letter of the law, it was.
There's people in the comments going, "It was soft." I get that.
Soft doesn't matter anymore. A penalty's a penalty.
Yeah, penalty's a penalty in the modern day, and the letter of the law. It's like the letter of the law when it comes to the handball rule. Did you see earlier on in the first half that they went to VAR to check a handball from a Fulham player from a West Ham cross? I mean, if that had remotely touched the Fulham player's hand, they were going to get a penalty, and that would have been harsh. It's just a shit rule, unfortunately.
It is a shit rule.
For Sheezy saying Salah and Kearney both went down soft. Difference is, for me, is that Salah didn't go down soft. Salah had that contact, then he planted his foot, then he threw himself to the floor in the wrong direction.
He threw himself to the floor. Whereas I think Kearney, what you're saying, I agree with you. I mean, I don't like it, but
that season Leicester won the league. Vardy scored like 15 penalties, and he won them all. By doing that, he initiated the contact because he knew where the defender was going to play it.
Kearney anticipated. He anticipated the touch and went and went with it. But easy, Matt. Law-abiding citizen.
Well, listen, it led to a Fulham penalty. It went to VAR. They took a while to decide. We knew it was going to be given a penalty, and that man, that famous man, I love him, Lookman of Fulham stepped up, and Lookman.
Let's just put it this way: he's no Di Canio.
He didn't take a very good penalty, did he?
He's no Di Canio, is he? He's no Paolo.
He tried to outsmart Fabianski, but I tell you what, guys, it was the worst.
Mate, that is got to be one of the worst penalties I've ever seen.
Yeah,
that's one of the worst. It's probably the worst I've ever seen. Put it that way.
It was shit.
It was absolutely shocking.
Well, there you go. Look, you can see. Look at Mitrovic. Loftus-Cheek in the background. He's like,
but look at Mitrovic. Loftus-Cheek, yeah, on the Well,
But
the
look
thing is, I'm not sure. I might have missed this. Was Mitrovic still on the pitch at this point? He was on the pitch, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was because we
Because
thought he
he's
was
their
going to
penalty
take it.
taker.
Yeah.
He's their penalty taker.
Yeah.
Because as soon as they got the penalty, I was like, oh, Mitrovic doesn't miss. You know, he's going to score. And then Lookman steps up. And
Can I tell
said
you-
this to Ant off the thing, didn't I? I said to you, I was going through some of the comments in the on Fulham's Twitter when they said he missed. And the Fulham fans, first of all, they were absolutely irate. Like, what the hell's he doing in the 98th minute trying to Panenka down the middle? But there was Everton fans in it, and they were like, that's the exact reason we sold him. Because his personal ego is so big that he does things you just shouldn't do at the time you're doing it.
Can I
And it's
can I
just
tell you
baffling.
something though? Can I tell you something? He hit that ball so bad that Fabianski dived. He still
back
had
up.
stand back up,
And back
jump
up.
into the middle, and collect the ball.
So, he still had
Oh.
yeah.
You know, the irony was that I think their goalie was man of the match, and yet the hero was our
It's
goalie.
Fabianski.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The irony. You know,
100%. And anyway, West Ham walked away with the 3 points, guys. And I tell you what,
Stole it.
yes, Matt, we've stole it. Yes, that there was an element of, you know what, whatever. But I tell you what, guys, we're grinding out some results just now.
oh, we were bloody lucky today, mate.
We were, mate.
Let's not deny
it.
this.
I'm not denying it.
I put when I was promoting it, I said, was it by luck or by design? It was by sheer luck.
It
that we
was,
won
mate.
today.
Here you
It
go.
was.
Here's a stat for you. Love
Sheer
stat.
luck. Go on.
Wait, go on then, Matt.
Since August 2016, Fabianski has saved 7 penalties in the league, which is more than any other goalkeeper in the Premier League.
That's a good stat.
Yeah.
That is why we call Matt Stato.
And that is why you call still I love Masuaku.
And that's why Anton loves King Ogba.
But yeah,
Listen,
You can tell we've had a drink or two tonight, people, because well, you know, I mean, come on, Saturday night, can't go out, locked in, watching us talking shit. We needed a drink or two.
can I tell you something though before we go into the comment? I'm not even remotely joking. How do we take that comment off for 2 seconds? Here we go. Go and check out our sponsors for this show. One Football. Still, you're gonna have to do this tomorrow, mate.
I know
One
I am,
Football.
but I'm not
I'll tell
going to
you
do it as often as you are.
I've jumped on there. I've actually jumped on that app. It's free to download. See the information you get, like it's quality. It gives you really in-depth information, possession, all the stats of the game. You know who the players were, man of the match. You know you can vote for your man of the match on the app as well.
at the moment on One Football, Soufal is man of the match.
Yeah,
I'm surprised
And
by that.
It's rated. You get to vote yourself. If you go on there
you get to
now,
vote
you can go
as a fan.
see rating. You can vote.
Oh, fair enough.
And he is
Okay.
he is very far out in front. He's Creswell's got 155 votes. Soufal's got 691.
Can we? What did Declan get?
How
bet it
far
was
down
low.
is he? 30.
I bet
well,
it
there
was
we go. Here's a good question then. Who was your man of the match still?
difficult.
I'm going to join Dan and say Creswell.
You know what?
think-
I'm going
I
to be
think
really
Creswell did well.
controversial.
I think Creswell did well.
Fulham's goalkeeper.
Well, apart from that,
No. We're talking about West Ham's man of the match.
West Ham.
Yeah. Because I agree with you. The overall
agree
man
with
of the match was the Fulham goalie.
Yeah.
Agree.
But apparently the Premier League gave it to Creswell.
I
Yeah.
think Creswell did all right. I don't think it was Soufal. I don't think Soufal had a good.
I don't think, to be honest,
didn't
I
have
don't
his
think
best
anyone in
game.
the West Ham had a very good game.
But Declan didn't have a good game at all.
Yeah.
Declan gave the ball away a few times
agree.
today.
I do agree with you actually.
Declan did a Masuaku. He gave the ball away a few times
Probably.
today.
Probably
really
more than
surprised.
twice. I think 2 or 3 times. And
Well,
actually,
was it the second half when he lost the ball and it was 2-on-2?
yeah,
You
and
know,
Yeah.
he gave it away in such dangerous areas tonight. But
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, that's very unlike him. That's very, very,
I
very.
think it was more to do with the fact that he was trying to push forward because we weren't creating anything from midfield, and he was
Yeah.
thinking, "I need to go on one of these mazy runs and try and create something."
I like
Absolutely.
this comment. I like this comment, lads, because
Still,
tell
jump
you
into the
what.
comments, mate. Jump in.
yeah, shall we? Okay,
Yeah,
I'll go
jump into
as
them.
far
Yeah.
off the top as I can. So, Flammer, sorry, I might be pronouncing that incorrectly. My apologies. A win is a win, but we played poor. I agree.
That is like a 6-word summary of the game.
Yeah.
Like,
Dean wasn't great, but 3 points anyway is great. I actually enjoyed watching us at the moment. I do agree. Michelet, what an assist from Benrahma. Well, it was a nice little pass to the one side. Yeah.
under pressure, it was one-touch pass. It was.
Mick. Oh,
And that's
Mick,
never going to happen, mate.
you've just
That's
gone
never gonna
right
happen.
down in my estimations, mate. Right down. Sponsorship means money for Stel to get around in.
Yep, get around in Stel.
Guys, Murad, honestly, Moyes is stopping his this is interesting. Moyes is stopping his players by getting confidence. His attitude with them, he looks like he can make them feel like they are not good enough and they have to be careful all the time. He's kind of, I kind of get what he's trying to say. He's trying to say to them, be defensive first before you do anything else.
Yeah.
And that doesn't necessarily suit a lot of our players, does it?
It doesn't, but that's why we've got a very good defence. Like, don't forget, I think we've got we're up in the top. I think it's the top 5 for best defence this year because no one's keeping clean sheets, and there's a reason for it. I mean, if you think back to how bad our defence was last year, and we conceded 60, was it 66 off my head?
65 goals, I think it was. Yeah,
around that, and we're 8 games in now. Have we hit double figures yet?
No, we're doing all right. We got 10 against, and we got 4-4. So we got a +4.
Yeah.
So
we're actually plus goal difference, so we never have that.
That is true. Areola, potential Fabianski. I'd like to know what Areola would cost.
If PSG want to get rid of him, I'll take him.
I think he looked really good.
Yeah.
And Dalek, I know Fab is good, but we need a new keeper.
I do agree with that.
Getting old.
I 100% Dalek. I think this is last year, personally.
Yeah.
He's out of contract this year, isn't he?
Well, he's out of contract, and we were talking about he'll be 36, so
at the end of the season. So
he might get another year, but I think after that we need to be Morel, Benrahma looks good. He got an assist. Hopefully, Moyes finds a way to put him in the team. Based on what you saw from Benrahma, would you start him in the next game?
I think he's put himself in Moyes' mind to start Fornals because he didn't have a great game
to replace Fornals.
Yeah,
you would say
to. Great game.
What about you, Anton? Would you replace Fornals with him?
Definitely replace. I would definitely start. Benrahma. Potentially, not for Fornals, but for Masuaku.
Yeah, I'm, and I don't mean this. I'm not Masuaku bashing, but I agree.
I don't think Moyes will do it. I think it will be Fornals. Sorry. I don't even know if Moyes will do it in full stop. But it's my fear because I think we have to go into these games.
Where would you, when he came on, I know where I would have played him. Where would you have put him when he came on?
I would have put
Where would you have told him to play?
Right on Haller.
Yeah. I'd have changed it.
And he didn't do it. You could have
done that with Masuaku. See, for me, you could have kept Masuaku on and gone for a 4-4-2.
You could have done, but Masuaku's not that sort of player. He doesn't have that sort of thinking. Because I agree, this is what we were crying out during the game. We were crying out for a change of formation. No, I don't mean it. I don't actually mean it as a criticism. I just think Moyes needed to make a tactical change.
I think. Do you know what? Still, I do agree with you on that. I genuinely do, and it's not very often I do agree with you. But I'll be honest though, because I said it before the game. I said it in the preview last night that we need to have options, different options. Whether that means we can't play the same team week in and week out against every opposition because we're going to come up. We can't line up and set up as if we're playing Man City, Leicester, Wolves.
Exactly.
Because we're not, and we can't do that. We've done it years ago under Pellegrini. We've done it even years ago when we've done it under Moyes, and we're doing it again, and we can't do that. If we had set up differently today and been more on the front foot, we could have potentially got some goals in there today. If we had fed Haller a lot more in that first half, I think we'd be sitting here talking about some of the goals he'd scored today.
I'm total agreement. Hossein, I think Benrahma needs a lot of minutes or games to play in order to keep winning. He's a decent player and he can help United. Yeah, I think we're kind of agree with that.
I think he had half hour today. Well, we had 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And now we've got the extra 2 weeks for Moyes to get him up to the fitness he wants. I could see him starting against Sheffield United because he's got them extra 2 weeks. You know, like it happened with Bowen, didn't it? He came in the end of January. It wasn't until like March that he started the game. So
True. Neil, I thought all our crossing was poor. We also lack pace. So you know they're in that. So there's your answer. Ben Rama could give us that pace. Mick, hopefully Oggy is not badly injured. Otherwise, we could have him and Antonio out injured.
Well, they're saying Antonio could be back after the international break. So
they are. But how much of a blow? I mean, let's be serious. How much of a blow would Ogbonna be if he was out for a period of time?
It's hard to tell because, like we said, Diop slotted straight in. So you need to see like the Sheffield United game. If you've got a three at the back that doesn't have Ogbonna in it, you'll see.
I don't think it's as bad. I get the sentiment. I totally get the sentiment, but I don't think it's as bad because we've got Diop that's there. We've got Dawson as the complete and utter backup. We've got cover. We've got Creswell that can step in there. We've got Johnson in the back of the scenes. We've got some youth players, Alessi, etc. You know, we've got options there. We've got Declan Rice that can step back into
so
that.
you're there's no way you're ever going to admit that Ogbonna has been our
I will admit. Listen.
Defender for the past 3 seasons.
Listen. No, I won't admit for the last 3 seasons. Absolutely, I will never do that.
Sorry,
it's delusional.
Sorry, yeah, for the past 4 seasons,
No, it's delusional. But for this season,
mate, you're delusional.
For this season, I'll say to you, he's been our standout defender. The point I'm trying to make to you is that it's not the end of the world by losing him. If we lost another centre half today, as well as him, then it's different.
Yeah, there would be
in trouble.
Yeah.
Alf is on. Alf
let's
is
bring
here.
Alf on. Evening, Alf.
Evening, boys. Evening,
Welcome
boys.
back.
It was
Thoughts on the game?
It was almost 5-0. It was almost 5-0.
Yeah, only 4 goals short, Alf.
Only 4 goals short.
It could have been. It could have been if we put
should have been, mate.
away.
The way we started the game.
We hit the crossbar about 4 times, didn't we? I don't know, something like that.
Well, 3, but given that your counting at the moment is pretty poor,
Who's counting, eh?
No, serious though, Alf. I mean, first half
we were
better.
lucky. We started off well, but then they were pressing us, kept on coming at us. They had their chances, we had our chances. You know, it could have gone either way. I mean, it wasn't. We kind of lost our way after the first sort of 15 minutes, I think. And the same again in the second half. We kind of lost our way a little bit, and you know, he made the substitutions, and I think you could have made them a little bit earlier on. Obviously, the Ogbonna thing was forced, but look, I thought, you know, it was a great goal for us to score, but then Ben Rama giving away that, you know, when they were, you know, debating whether it's a penalty, it's a penalty. You know, it's you know, there's no way that's not a penalty, and it was. And I just had to laugh when he tried to do the Perlo kick.
Mate, he's no Di Canio, is he? Let's put it that way.
Oh my god, that was just awful. That was just probably the worst penalty fail I've ever seen in my life. That's so funny. I have no sympathy for him.
I just want to interject here, right? An image. Masuaku has just tweeted an image, and I see when you look at this image and you really think about what actually happened. Fabianski saved the ball. We were too busy celebrating. Look at Ben Rama.
I can't see that picture.
He's running the other way. Like, give me the ball.
He's going, give me the ball.
Give me the ball.
Guys are forwards.
Yeah, class.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah, in the background. He wants to counter attack.
Yeah.
You see, Creswell's running in to celebrate him saving it. And Ben Rama's on the back like, no, counter attack. Come on. Give me the ball.
Yeah. Fair play. Fair play.
Yeah.
How about this one?
Play. Worse than the Zaza penalty. Yeah.
Do you remember that one? Was it in the Euros, wasn't it? Was it the Euros or the World Cup? We done the stutter and blasted it into.
I think it was the World Cup, wasn't it?
Yeah. The first time I ever saw that type of penalty was Perlo when he was playing for Italy. I think it was in the World Cup.
Done against us, didn't he?
Put
Joe Hart on his arse, didn't he?
Was it against England? I can't remember. Anyway,
Put Joe Hart
that was the first time I'd ever seen it. Great penalty, and then ever since then, every now and again, somebody tries to do it, and it's just it was completely. I don't know. So
we said
we were lucky to get away with that. We were lucky to get away.
We said it was a soft penalty, but it was a penalty. But we said the penalty was so bad that Fabianski dived, and there's no time to stand up and save it.
Yeah,
exactly. He dived to the right, and there's no time to sit. Because you don't normally see a penalty, and the keeper dives one way, and once he's gone the wrong way, he just stops, doesn't he? He doesn't fully commit, he just sort of falls to the side. But Fabianski had enough time to fall to the side, get up on one knee, and then still catch the ball.
Yeah. Oh dear. Oh well.
There you go, Ant. Russ, the crowd went wild at the stadium.
Is that actually Russ? Because I thought Russ had a little avatar in his image.
It seems like it. He's been talking in the chat, so I'm sure it is Russ.
He's been
Russ. Let's catch up on some more comments. So, Lee, good evening, mate. Creswell, man of the match. Alf, man of the match for you.
From West Ham's team.
West Ham's man of the match.
You know what? I actually thought Chris had a really good game, actually. So I wouldn't disagree with that. Actually. I thought.
Would you, Matthew?
I thought Haller in the first half showed a lot of running as well.
Mate, actually. I'm glad you said that. I'm actually glad you said that because
weak.
A lot of people have been calling him lazy.
Yeah, I think, and we were saying before you came on. The first 15 minutes or so, he was pretty effective because he was being included in the game. Yeah, and then when Fulham started to sort of take a bit more control, we reverted to the 5-4-1, so he was left on his own again. So I think
I thought he had a lot of run in the first half, but as I already said, we kind of lost our way after sort of 20 minutes or so. So we got out of it.
Areola next year for future Fab replacement.
No.
Great.
If PSG let him go, I'd take him.
I'd take him.
He was for me, he was the actual man of the match in the game, and he kept them in it.
I told you yesterday, lads, Areola could be ideal for a replacement for Fabianski. Another one that said it in the past.
Why does everybody want to get rid of Fabianski all of a sudden?
No, not a question of getting rid of him. It's a question of we need a replacement.
He's going to be 36 at the end of the season. His contract's
we'll just extend it. We don't need it. He's still young. He's only 36. He can play until he's 50.
Compared to you and I, Alf,
he's not David Seaman.
Compared to you and I, he's young.
Yeah. Oh well.
We got a lot of Ben Rama fans who are very happy.
Well, very good. I thought he came on. He had a couple of touches, then he disappeared for about 10 minutes, and then he popped up in the box. Nice, lovely. See, from his point of view, I thought he was going to be really selfish and try and take a step to the right and take a shot. But no,
very, very unselfish.
Exactly, and I really like that. I thought that's brilliant, and obviously.
Good point here. Dan's taking Bowen off really slowed the game and took away a big attacking option.
I agree. Yeah. I thought it was the wrong move. Really good.
I've always said this since we signed him. That Lanzini's not a winger. He's a number 10.
No. Yeah.
And even more so since he had that big injury, he's got no pace. Yeah. It's almost like Everton have James they've got from Madrid, and they play him on the wing, but he sort of plays like an inside forward. He doesn't really go out on the wing.
Yeah,
because he hasn't got the pace to affect the game, and putting Lanzini out on the right wing for Bowen
didn't work. I'm surprised they didn't use Yarmolenko. If you wanted to replace light for light,
If I had to say one thing about the subs tonight, I would say Fornal should have come off a lot sooner.
A lot. We were saying that during the game. Sell Allaire, he doesn't suit our style of play, Jerry. Says.
Well, maybe we should change our style of play to suit him.
Yeah, as we've been saying for a very, 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 very long time.
There's no point in just keep on buying players and selling them and saying they're no good. We've actually got to find a way to make these players work for us. Otherwise, there is no point in buying them in the first place.
Exactly.
But if you try and sell Haller now,
you won't get money for him.
No, exactly, because we haven't put him in the shop window enough for him to show off his talents. The two things you need to do with a player like Haller and other players in the past that we've had, we need to play to their strengths so that one, he produces for us and scores goals, but also we need to play to his strengths so we increase his value. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Allaire played okay tonight. Good evening, Kent. 10 times better than last week. one good delivery, hit the bar, held it up well, good performance. Yeah.
Great header.
I think he faded out because we didn't go on.
We
weren't
started
on the front foot.
regressing, didn't we? We started
Yeah.
regressing and started letting them get on top, and then he's isolated again.
Yeah, I agree. Morel, I like Fornals, but he needs to improve his decision making in the final third. Thoughts on that, guys?
I think he needs to improve his all-round game first for me.
I'm more in the mindset that he just needs to play in the games that we need him to play in, and not play every single game if he's not needed. There's no point in playing.
Yeah, rotated.
For the sake of it.
When we're playing the big teams, you need that hard-working guy that's going to get up and down the wing and track back. But today, you could have played Ben Rahman from the start, and it would have given him the option to go forward and break the defence down.
Yeah. Fulham's defence played out a game plan, stifled our crosses, and did it very well.
Yeah. Well, what did I say before the game? We said what could it come down to, and I said it'd be down to who does the better crossing. And they stopped us putting in crosses. And the goal came from a luckily deflected cross.
Yeah.
You know, their best opportunity really came from that cross. That header in the first half of Mitrovic come from a cross. Haller hit a crossbar from a cross.
Yeah.
Good evening, Luke. Why should we have bossed possession? Our formation doesn't concentrate on possession, rather a solid defence and effective attacks. Agreed?
Yeah.
We're not set up
yes and no.
We're not set up to boss possession, are we?
What he said is 100% right. We're not. But when you're playing the lower teams that also set up to not boss possession, then we need to adapt our style to then boss the possession.
Yeah, so that's exactly right, Matt. Like what Luke said there's right, but that's based upon the side we put out tonight.
Yeah.
Whereas is that your boy, Josh?
I've just seen it, actually. Josh says, welcome to the show, Josh. Josh says, put Haller in the box when any cross comes in, and we just like more goals coming from him.
Yep, absolutely.
That's the most sensible thing he said all year.
Don't listen to your dad, Josh. Well, not about West Ham. Listen to him about everything else, but not about West Ham.
Don't listen to him, Josh.
But Josh, come on and have your say. Bring him on one day. And
I keep on saying to him, but he's like, no.
He'll cool enough. All right. You've met us, Josh. You've met us at the supporters club and stuff. So,
no, he'd love to. I think he just wants to get back to watching games, just like the rest of us, you know.
Yeah, I think we all do.
Absolutely, mate.
Yeah.
I'm jumping through the comments, so please forgive me that we haven't managed to get through all of them. And did you send the link for?
Yeah, we done it. Yeah,
have we done that? I hope you got that at Foes. Let us know. Football with Brownie. Some interesting names. Hi lads, Cardiff fan here. I love the way both Collins and Gabidon took their chances with you guys. Yeah, if only we had mind you, we're playing well defensively at the moment. And there it goes. The chat has jumped yet again. You never know where. Never know where you are.
The whole point of this show is called Highlights and Words, and we actually give you a longer show of the football match than we do the highlights and words. So I think we should call it quits.
Yes.
Well, you can then. Well, just a few more. Just a few more comments
from that. All night, and we're going to keep on going all night.
Honestly, Matt,
we never catch up.
What have we said all the time, mate?
We try and keep it under an hour, and we never get there. We always try and keep it under
half an hour.
We're only 53 minutes, so we've got 6 minutes to go, 7 minutes to go. I'm nearly there. If you don't include the people that watch you, then you don't have a show.
We'll never have a show.
Here we go. Look, Mark from Finland.
There you go.
See, Mitokolo. There you see. See, that's my Finnish saying how are you? You see. I bet he's not even Finnish. With a name like Mark Woods, he's not going to be Finnish, is he?
It's a great thing. Keep going, Stel. I tell you what, I've got a new idea for a show. We'll call it the Stel Show. The Stel Show. So after highlights and words, Stel, you just come on and just talk gibberish.
I do that on Sunday nights. I don't need another night.
No, he does 4 hours on a Sunday night. Don't need anything else.
No, I've cut it down. I'm down to 2 hours.
Yeah, that's until you get Nigel on. Then it goes to 4 hours.
I'm not there. I'm at the bottom. See, people, the reason why your comments don't appear is because they don't let me. So.
Oh, there you go. No, Mark Wood says, no, I'm not. I'm not. He's not Finnish. That's right. But he lives in Finland. He lives in Helsinki or whatever.
Theo saying Creswell was unreal tonight. Proper WHU was saying, Haller, not for us. Need more time. Let's not get carried away. But Antonio out. Beggars can't be choosers. BM, hope Rama starts soon. Neil T saying our crossing was very poor out there tonight. Really irritating to play so well, yet no end substance.
Hold on. Let me just interrupt you there, first of all. Let's just hop back to about a season ago or season before when we weren't even getting one cross into the box. Now compare that to what we're doing now. At least we're getting crosses in, you know, and a lot of them are finding, a head or a foot. So they are getting there.
Joan,
So I will take a stance against that comment because we are getting more crosses in, like I've been saying for the last 10 years.
Joan, trust me, Joan. Let's put Joan's comment back up.
No,
we certainly don't miss Anton.
So I don't know if any of you guys miss Stell, but never gets boring, mate. Oh, there you go. It's done that. That was you, Matt, wasn't it? That was you, Matt. That was Matt.
Do you know what? Maybe some of you are a bit young enough to remember this TV program. There used to be an old TV program called Celebrity Squares.
I remember that. Yeah.
Basically, this is what I feel like with the squares on the TV here or on the computer screen. I'm looking down, go, all right, Stel.
Or either that or University Challenge.
Yeah. Oi, and you're right. Forget it.
Anton's gone. Anton and Matt have gone blank. What?
Yeah,
Celebrities? What? Celebrity Squares? What?
I think. Listen.
Quality entertainment.
I think that calls it quits for our highlights and words video.
Yeah, let's finish.
No,
make sure you hit the comments. Make sure you hit the thumbs up.
Hang on. You got to put this one. Look. Oh no, not that one, Dan. Sorry, mate. My kidneys are healthier for not meeting up. Mark, I'm on the toilet listening via Bluetooth with the wife asleep. Mark.
Give us a song. Mark.
Can you not tell that Stell is actually sitting down for the first time? That means Stell was sitting on his bog. He's sitting on a toilet.
Sitting down.
So,
listen, I'll tell you what.
Subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up, keep the comments coming in, download the OneFootball app using the description.
Have you mentioned OneFootball tonight, by the way?
Enjoyed our show. So
actually, that's a good idea. Should we come up with a jingle, Alf?
Yeah.
For OneFootball.
So from Stelios, from EasyJet, from Alf Garnett, from Stato, and from the King. This has been Irons United. Come on, you Irons.
Stop. How have you changed my name?
Don't worry, don't worry about that.
That's outrageous.
Don't worry about that.